So, Ruben, what's it like working with your friend?
Oh, it's all jacked up.
It is.
It's all jacked up, man. They always get their feelings hurt, and they want attention, and they want to feel validated.
Excuse me, didn't we just do an episode about that last week?
I have no idea. What did we do last week?
I think. Well, I turned 24, and
Oh, that's right. It was your birthday, like in 2 days.
No, because we totally record these episodes when we release them.
We do these live. You internet people. You. What's it like being 24 now?
Oh man, it sucks.
24 did suck for me, but for different reasons.
Well, I think actually it's going to be a really good year because I'm married and
you're pregnant.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. Not even close to pregnant. Not even a little bit.
Well, you're practicing to be pregnant.
Well, no. Practicing to be pregnant would entail like intense food cravings and being really snippy with people. And
am I pregnant?
I think
Brad, am I pregnant?
I think you. Do you have something to tell me?
I might be pregnant. If those are the signs of pregnancy, I might be pregnant.
Well, there's also not being able to sleep well, and having intense desire to fill your home with things that will prepare you for that time in your life. Nesting, as it were.
I gotta call my doctor.
It's a miracle.
I really need to call my doctor. For many reasons, but I do have to call my doctor. Last week's episode was great.
Yeah, it really was.
We got some great feedback.
We did.
And we're actually going to talk about some feedback we got based off our Amazon link here in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I'm actually kind of upset about is we're currently in a political race, you and I.
We are?
We are racing for the best hair of the podcast. And
I think I won.
Well, currently, I believe it's 67% in my favor. However, we do have a lot of people who are voting based off of party lines.
Well, also, I have a majority on Facebook, which doesn't count.
Facebook doesn't count at all. And you know what? We should have clarified, because a lot of the comments I'm getting about your hair is that your hair is longer.
We can't say that they're voting based on party lines, though, because Jeremy, the guy who I call my brother, voted for you.
That's right. I got a couple of crossovers.
Okay, so we're not voting based on party lines.
But for the most part, it's party lines.
No, it's not.
Okay, the screenshot that I saw earlier was, well, let me go look at it now, because I actually figured out how to look at who voted.
Good for you.
I learned how to Instagram.
Are you working? Are you learning how to use social media?
I believe so. How did I do it the first time? How does this? Nope, that's not how it works. There it is. Oh my gosh.
So if you
didn't, it's 7 to 8 right now.
If you didn't listen to last week's episode, guys, we are having a disagreement. Some would say a fight.
What the hell?
Over who has the best hair.
Emma Nelson voted for you.
Of course, because I have better hair. Look at it.
Your hair is longer. It's not better.
It is better.
Length does not equal better. And even if the look you're giving me is you're making a penis joke. And let me tell you something.
I am not.
Long penises don't always mean better penises.
All I did was look at you.
Look.
Did we really have to do that?
So let me just tell you something right now. All right. So out of the people who voted for you, we have Sarah Montez, Emma Nelson.
I love that we're just outing them right now.
And somebody named Bradley Biggs, that traitor.
That's my husband.
Although I think he used a different account to vote for me.
No, he didn't.
No, that's true. However, Jeremy, who is on your side of the aisle, of this political aisle, this made-up political fight that we're having, he voted for me. But everyone who's voted for me are people I either pay or I'm dating and they're friends.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a down political party lines, and it's probably going to cause the breakup of this podcast.
We've been through a lot, and nothing has broken us up so far.
I'm calling Emma Nelson.
Also, Violet commented on the post and said me, and Melody commented on the Facebook post and said me, and one of our followers, Nolan, commented on the Facebook post and said me.
We're not talking about Facebook.
And Sebastian's mom.
Call Emma Nelson. I hope she answers. Maybe she's working. See if she'll answer. I doubt she'll answer.
Shalom.
Oh, she answered.
I answered. Hello.
Hey, you're on the podcast.
Oh, hello, podcast people.
This isn't a good social call. I'm actually quite upset right now.
Why?
Don't fall for it, Emma.
I learned how to Instagram today, and I saw that you did not vote for my hair.
Moxy's hair is amazing. What can I say?
Thank you.
Your hair
Wow.
looks good too, Ruben. It was like a lose-lose situation. Like I wanted to pick both of your hair things.
That's very fair.
Do you know I have nothing other than my hair? The one thing that I have.
That is so not true. You have personality.
Oh, that's a good way to say I'm ugly.
I'm sorry. No. No. You have
No.
great hair and great personality.
She's right. You have
Can I
nice
just- can I just-
eyebrows.
Can I just say one thing real quick?
You have a great beard.
You can say two things.
I'm going to say two things. Number one, I was going to buy you tacos eventually. And number two, do you remember when you were stranded on the side of the road? You know who didn't come and help you?
Emma, he's still going to buy you tacos. I love how he didn't negate that. He was like, I'm going to buy you tacos someday. I was.
Like,
Still am.
That's not gonna happen.
Listen.
Thank you for saving me from dying. I really appreciate that. You know, I should be buying you tacos.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, you should be. What are you doing next Tuesday night?
Buying you tacos.
Absolutely. And you are going to retract your vote
No.
and vote for my hair.
No.
Because I saved your life and it's the least you can do.
You didn't save her life.
I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
So wait, you've
I
been
can figure out too to get tacos.
Say that again. I didn't hear what you said.
I said I can take you out too to get tacos.
Well, that I accept.
Okay, and I will right after this I'll go back and re-vote.
Well, you can't. You can only vote once, so you kind of screwed the pooch here.
ha.
So then listen, just imaginary re-vote. But Moxy, I love you. Your hair will always reign supreme.
Wow. Okay, now I'm hanging up on you. I'm just I.
So wait, what I'm getting from this is you've been pregnant twice now?
And apparently Emma Nelson is my daughter. All right. Well, now that my dreams of having the nicest hair on this podcast have been completely crushed, we should probably talk about how we are saving the world one Amazon purchase at a time. Moxie, take it away.
We probably should. Well, didn't you have a story that you wanted to tell?
Yeah. So last week we talked about this amazing thing that we're doing with Amazon where you can go to our Amazon link by going to lifefriendshiptacos.com and going about halfway down the page. There's a spot there somewhere it says Amazon. Click on there, it'll take you to Amazon. You go to multimediamouth.com/Amazon. Click on the banner. All of it's the same. It helps the podcast out. We've made about 3 cents in the last week off of Amazon.
It's
alone.
really helped us a lot.
And we get a message from somebody who says, hey, listen, I really want to support you guys. I really love everything that you guys are doing. However, I support a small African orphanage through my Amazon purchases. Can I do both? And Amazon doesn't let you pick multiple organizations that you want to help out.
No, you just have to click one link.
It's one or the other. And so I told her, I said, unfortunately, you can't pick both. However, I can't in good conscience. Conscience. I can't in good conscience tell you to stop supporting the African families that you're supporting. Well, I guess they're not families, they're orphan children.
They actually are the opposite of families.
They are the unfamilied.
Except it's one large family.
It's
because you don't have to have. Never mind. Just keep going.
Anyway, so I said, please continue to support the African orphanage that you support. And then I woke up the next day and said, you know what? Screw those African
Oh my
orphanages.
gosh.
You know, we need money too, you know?
We have tacos to buy. We have crumble cookies to taste test. There's a lot at stake here.
There is a lot of expenses happening here at You're My Best Friend, a podcast about life, friendship, and tacos. And the African people can wait.
So what we're saying is, if you're supporting any impoverished people or, orphans or anyone who's in a really terrible situation who really, really needs your help right now, what we're saying is support us instead. Because, I can't do this anymore.
Okay, no, but in all seriousness, we appreciate the support and people wanting to support us. We really appreciate it. But at the end of the day, please, if you are supporting an African village, please continue to support an African village. However, if you are supporting Canadians, they don't need the help.
No, Canadians do not need your help. They will just kick your butt at hockey.
Yes.
That's it. In reality, though, seriously, if you already have a charity that you donate to through an Amazon link partnership, please continue to do that. The specific charity that we're talking about, I actually wanted to give them a little plug today because this is so cool. It's Molly's Children's Family. There was a movie about this. He and his family rescue orphans in the streets of Africa, and they raise them, school them, and train them up for life, and give them the gospel during this entire time in their lives. This is an amazing organization, and I know there are a lot of other organizations out there who use Amazon links. If you haven't used an Amazon link before, I'm going to tell you how to do it, not just for us, but for a lot of other different kinds of people who need your help right now too. You're going to click the link. It's going to take you to Amazon and just complete your purchase by using that link. So literally, it's an Amazon link. That's all it is. It's a link that's got code embedded into it. You click on it, it takes you to the Amazon homepage. And when you do that and complete your purchase, it'll actually donate 10% of every purchase. As long as you use the link, it'll donate 10% of that purchase to whatever organization it is that gave you the link. So if it's us, it'll give us 10% of your purchase. If it's Molly's Children's Family, it'll give them 10% of your purchase. This specific person who donates to this organization has actually, so far, she sent me a link or a screenshot of how much she's generated for them, and it's $111 so far. Yeah, just her. They have, their charity has made over $4 million just by using their Amazon link. And it's incredible.
What did you say? $4 million?
Yeah.
What are we doing wrong?
I'm not sure. Maybe not supporting orphans. I feel like
I support orphans.
Yeah?
Brad and I would be an orphan.
Would you?
Yeah, if Brad and I became one person, we'd be an orphan.
Why is that?
Because my mom died and his dad left.
Okay.
Is that okay to say on the podcast? Producer Brad just gave me a thumbs up.
So anyway, if you haven't used our Amazon link yet and you don't have another charity to support, make sure you go to our website, lifefriendshiptacos.com. You can find the Amazon link on our homepage there. If you would like to support another charity, I actually had an idea for this. If you are currently supporting another charity, just kind of switch back and forth. Just go one and then the other. And really, then both charities are only getting 0.5%. But if you are torn,
or better yet, continue to support the charity with Amazon and support us by going to dollarinthejar.com and signing up for a monthly membership. We have memberships starting at $1. However, the $1 tier gets you absolutely nothing. Just a thank you email from us. If you get I think it's $6. I'm gonna go to dollarinthejar.com right now because I don't remember our tiers.
This is actually our Patreon page. We have been experimenting with a couple of different support membership things, whatever they're called, platforms. I don't know. Yeah, support platforms. And we have moved to Patreon, and we're looking forward to connecting with you guys there. It looks really sleek. Ruben put it all together. You can find that by going to our website as well. You can go to dollarinthejar.com, or you can go to lifefriendshiptacos.com. Just don't go to yourmybestfriend.com because actually maybe...
What bastards own that?
I don't know. I'm checking it out right now. No, not .cm. .com.
Oh, it's available.
That's going to be expensive.
I'm going to find out right now because I have a new hobby, and that's just buying up domains.
Maybe if we get enough Amazon money or Patreon money, we could buy yourmybestfriend.com.
$5,499.
All right. Well, you heard the man. Start buying stuff on Amazon.
Now, here's another. So here's what I'm gonna tell you right now. The dollar tier gets you literally nothing, except a thank you note from us. Now, if you sign up for the $16.99, no, sorry, $6.99.
You could also sign up for the $16.99.
Yeah, we don't have that option, but I think you can customize this. You'll get the podcast early. Okay. You'll get it ad free, so you won't hear us plugging our Amazon. You won't hear us plugging the dollarinthejar.com BS anymore.
Hey.
But you'll also get the opportunity to vote on future episodes. You'll get exclusive content that we're making exclusively for Patreon. And for all the tiers above the $1 tier, Moxy and I are going to handwrite you a thank you note, and we're going to mail it to you.
We are.
And our pictures may or may not be on it.
Are we doing custom thank you notes?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We haven't discussed this.
We should probably work on it.
We will talk about it offline. Now, if you get the $15 a month option, you get to have a Zoom call with Moxy or I, or both. So not worth it. Just stick to the $6.99 one. But if you really want to do something really cool, the $19.99 tier will give you an exclusive ticket to see Moxy perform live on the internet exclusively for you.
I never do that anymore. So if you sign up for it, I have to actually put together a live show.
Well, she's going to do it whether there's 100 people who sign up for it or one person who signs up for it.
So as long as no one signs up for it, I don't have to do it, is what I'm getting from this.
Do it either way.
I'm not doing it if 0 people have signed up for this.
My microphone has been muted this whole time.
Really?
Nope.
Oh, gosh.
So dollarinthejar.com, sign up, support the show. It's really the best way to support us right now. So do that and keep supporting the African village.
Oh, also follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, because that helps too.
Yeah. Do you know what the new website, the new link is for YouTube?
I do. Friendsclips.com.
Yes. You know how much that domain's worth right now?
How much?
$1,100.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Is that how much you bought it for?
No, I bought it for 12. The ROI is great. If HBO wants to buy the domain from us, we'll gladly sell it.
I feel like HBO is not going to want to buy the domain from us.
They might. Friendsclips.com. Have it forward straight to HBO Max.
Yeah, but like the episodes aren't clips.
Shut up. All right, let's get let's transition into something more important than us plugging a bunch of stuff.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back in just a second with more. We were 20 minutes in.
Wow.
Jeez.
The following is a podcast about life,
Apparently,
I can't not listen to music.
friendship, and tacos.
let me tell you this: dropping a taco is a national emergency.
This is You're My Best Friend. Now here are your hosts, Moxy and Ruben Jay.
Welcome to You're My Best Friend, a podcast about life, friendship, and tacos. My name is Ruben Jay,
And I'm Moxy Ann.
and this week's episode is a good one. I hope.
Maybe.
It might be. It might suck.
We'll see. We haven't recorded it yet.
We're doing it currently
As we speak.
I didn't push record.
Are you serious?
Dang it!
Are you serious?
I did not push record.
He pushed record. You did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did push record.
I know you did. You can't pull that crap with me.
It worked for a second.
Not until you didn't answer me.
Well, I guess that's my tell-all to
He's
everything.
just not a very good communicator, you know?
Well, that's funny you say that, because we were actually going to talk about a couple of keys to communicate effectively.
So last week we were talking about the ins and outs of working with your best friend, the pros and the cons of it, as well as some of the biggest takeaways that we've learned in the 2.5 years that we've been running.
Holy moly!
Whoa.
2.5 years!
That was loud. 2.5 years that we've been running this podcast together. This week, we're going to talk about effective communication, because one of the key points we had last week was communicate well with each other. Communication is key. So this week, we're going to talk about how you do that. You want to get us started?
How do you communicate?
Ha!
That is actually part of her communication strategy that will at least get my attention.
Yes, it works frequently.
A lot less than she thinks it works. But
It works a lot.
It does work.
What did you get from that one?
That you really want this to be over because you really want a quesadilla.
Yes, that is very accurate.
I'm making quesadillas after we record.
You are?
For me.
Not for the whole class?
Well, me and Brad.
Oh, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Got to make sure my boy's well fed. He's going to be having children one day.
Brad's not the one who has the children.
Not according to science. So one of the things that we have learned in the process of doing this podcast is that not only is communication key for the podcast itself, but the day-to-day behind the scenes, very important to know how to communicate properly.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with us, when we're communicating well, everything goes well. When we don't communicate, well, it's a different story.
Yeah, it can get really ugly real fast.
And I tend to believe that when one of us usually gets upset with each other. And I'm not going to say who gets upset with whom.
Whomstedeth.
Whomstedeth. But somebody gets upset with somebody.
Are you expecting me to chime in here?
Eventually.
Usually what happens is Ruben doesn't communicate well. I think he's mad at me, so I get mad at him, and then we're both just pissed.
That happens?
Yes, that happens like every day. That happened today.
Care to elaborate?
You were talking weird, and I thought that you were mad at me.
I was having a stroke.
You were not having a stroke.
You don't know that.
I wasn't. You weren't. Help. I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a stroke? Jeez.
No, seriously. Like you were communicating weird, and I thought that you were being passive aggressive. So I got pissy, and then you were just kind of doing your weird Ruben thing where you don't answer, but you also do, and it's vague and confusing. And
What?
so I was like, well, just come on.
What?
Like when I called and I was like, what time are you coming? And you were like, sometime between now and then. And I was like, that's not helpful.
It's very helpful.
No, it's not.
You didn't ask for a specific time.
I said, what time?
Sometime between now and the time I get there.
That's not helpful.
It's very helpful.
Maybe we really need to listen to a podcast on effective communication.
Those don't exist. This is the first one that's ever been created.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So anyway, communication is very important. Brad looks really frustrated with both of us.
he looks like the dad who's just like, can't you just get along for 5 minutes? It's grandma's funeral. Stop fighting.
So back to communication. It's
Yes.
really important, not only for the podcast efficacy, but for the day-to-day. It's important that we are communicating a lot and about the right things, and that we're not being vague, and that we're giving the proper amount of information at the right time, because otherwise there are miscommunications.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I tend to do when I need to communicate something important to somebody is I tend to write down the points I need to hit.
Mm.
And so one of the things we're using this, was it informant.com article? Yeah. Number one thing on there says, know your message. Like if you're trying to communicate with somebody and let's do a good example. You're working a 9 to 5. You've been there for a couple of years, and you started at $15 an hour, and that was on the higher end at the time that you were hired, but now that's the minimum wage. People who are getting hired at that job who've been there less than you have are making that same amount of money. You want to go talk to your boss and ask your boss for a raise. You're going to want to go in there and know what first of all, what you're talking about. So you're going to want to go in there and have some notes about how, hey, I've been here for 4 years. I'm the longest running staff member you have. You just hired somebody new who's making the same amount of money as me. Here are the things, and have specific talking points going into that conversation. That way, you really give them all the information that they need to be able to make a decision, but you also need to be able to anticipate whatever follow-up questions they have.
Yeah.
So when you want to communicate with somebody effectively, you need to definitely know exactly what you want that conversation to accomplish.
As I write this down.
She's like, I'm learning how to talk to Ruben right now. This is a master class in communicating with Ruben.
Well, and that is something that I don't necessarily always know how to do going into it because I'm a woman. Not to be sexist or anything, but sometimes
You said it.
No, sometimes I mean it's true, and I've learned this especially with Brad, and he's really good at this. Is asking me whether I just need to be heard or whether I need a solution. So when I'm venting to him, I don't go into it with this is what I want to communicate, this is what I need to accomplish. I go into it thinking I just need to talk about this, and half the time when I communicate with you, that's what I go into it with, just thinking like, I just need to talk about this. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish or trying to convey. I just have a lot of feelings and I need to share them. I'm a woman.
And do you ever feel like when you do that we ever resolve any of the issues?
I don't know.
Well, this is a great start to this episode.
So the next thing on the list is make sure you are understood. And this one I especially resonated with. I had a teacher at Azusa Pacific University.
Michelle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who she would explain. So when I was in her chamber singers group, she would explain the point that she was trying to get across. She would give an example. She would do a whole bunch of stuff. And then at the end of it, she would say, does that make sense? And that's something that I've adopted when I'm trying to convey difficult points or complicated instructions or anything to people, because making sure that it makes sense to them, making sure that they understand what you're trying to say is actually more crucial than most people think. Most people kind of just go about it and talk and talk and talk. And when you stop, when you take that pause in the middle of whatever you're rambling on about to say, hey, does this make sense what I'm saying? Like, can we get from point A to point D and make sure that you're on board with points B and C? Okay. Yeah. Ruben's nodding. Very.
I was like, that's not how the alphabet works. Pancakes aren't purple.
What?
What?
Are you having a stroke?
Of genius.
That was funny.
Thank God we're not a comedy podcast anymore.
Seriously. Any more?
Oh yeah, we were classified as comedy for a while.
Okay. You want to go on to point 3?
Well, here I want to pivot to a different article here real quick.
Pivot.
Because here's something that I think that I need to work on more, and I'm admitting that I'm not perfect. So can somebody please note the date and time that I'm saying that I am not perfect?
Tuesday, July 13th at 7:13 p.m.
Perfect.
Ruben is not perfect.
This is from liveitforward.com, and they say that one of the keys to effectively communicating is to be a listener. And I'm not very good at listening sometimes. I will say I'm actually, let me rephrase it. I'm really good at listening when I want to. I'm a good listener. However, when it matters, and when it's especially if it's a conflict, like a conversation we're having about a conflict, I'm not listening to listen. I'm listening to respond. And there's a difference between listening to make the person heard and listening because you're preparing a response.
You know, that's a very common problem in today's society, especially in America.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like in the last 10 years, I used to be really big on online debates, like especially political debates when I was a kid. And in the 10 years it's been since I was doing that, because I stopped putting my political opinion online when I got into music, it feels like the landscape of debate has completely changed. If you're not in like a debate club or a debate group, or even in politics, everyone's just listening so that they can get to the point where the other person stops talking, just so that they can respond with whatever they're thinking. They're not actually listening. And I think that that's really important for right now, is to listen. Listen, this is another thing that Michelle said, listen louder than you speak. And there are all sorts of these metaphors that you can use and things that you can do to remind yourself that it's important to listen instead of speaking. But yeah.
I don't like the idea of listening louder than you speak.
Why not?
Because you can't listen loudly.
Yes, you can.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
There's a Taylor Swift lyric.
Oh yeah, you're gonna quote Taylor Swift to me?
Would you like to instead?
No, I'm saying I dislike Taylor Swift. Why would you bring her up in a conversation?
Oh, you said that like you were like, I'm the ultimate Taylor Swift.
Oh no. No, I think that she should retire off a bridge.
I think that she should release more albums.
She's re-releasing all of her albums.
I know.
And they sound the exact same.
Yeah, they actually do.
What the hell?
She's changed very little, except that she gets the royalties now.
Which is actually, I kind of agree with that. But so one of the things that I know for a fact that I do really well is I'm pretty straightforward and real with my communication. I don't beat around the bush. I'm very direct. If I want something to be the color red, I say I want it to be the color red.
That's always. Yes.
As I get a red laptop covering. By the way, do you think I have a problem with the amount of laptops I own?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that says here is to be real with your communication. Like, obviously say what you mean what you say. The one thing that I hate about bad communicators is they'll just say things sometimes to appease you. And for honest to God, if you ever have to deal with me, first of all, I'm sorry. But second of all, don't tell me something because you think that's what I want to hear. Like it will actually piss me off more that you said that you can do something or you will do something or you want to do something when you really don't. And actually, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this one. But I'm dating somebody.
Uh-huh. Why would you get in trouble for that?
No, what I'm about to say, I'm about to tell a story about the dating process. I made the mistake of taking what they said to me about something at their word.
Are you sure you want to talk about this?
No, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to. I don't care. I'll get in trouble for it. It's for the podcast. She knows I'll monetize our relationship that way.
That's healthy.
No, she told me that it was okay that if we didn't do something that we had talked about doing. And I took her at her word, and we didn't do that. I went and dropped her off, and all of a sudden she was upset. And she was upset because we didn't do what I told her we would do after she told me she was okay with not doing it.
I'm confused.
So
do that again.
So as an example, I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but let's just say I said, "Oh, well, let's go have dinner after we get ice cream." I don't know. It's really really backwards. But like whatever, it was something that simple. Like it was so simple. Like, hey, actually, here's I'll tell you. We went to church, and after church, we were supposed to get lunch. And then after lunch, we were going to go do something else. But I had to leave right after that last thing. Whatever that last thing was, I had to leave. And so church ran a little late. Lunch ran a little late. So by the time we were wrapping up lunch, she was like, "Oh, it's okay if we skip. I think we're supposed to go to the park or something. It's okay if we skip that. Like, just go ahead and take me home." So I'm like, "Wow, you're wonderful. Like, you're actually letting me dip out of here early and go finish editing the podcast that I needed to edit." And so I went and I dropped her off, and all of a sudden she was upset because I actually skipped the plans that we had.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, again, she's a woman. You have to go with what you know we want, not what we say we want. My husband is looking at me very...
Actually, it's very confused.
Poker face. No, but seriously, like if I were in that scenario and I said, "No, it's fine. You can go home and edit the podcast." You have to read between the lines there.
No, it wasn't like I said, "Oh, I need to go home and edit the podcast." She volunteered. She told me, "You should go edit the podcast now." And then I got in trouble for going to edit the podcast.
So why does this feel like an episode of Friends?
I don't know.
We were on a break.
Anyway, so the point being is, like, for me in particular, like, the last thing I want to do is make people upset. Except for Moxy. Wow, I almost added your name.
Wow.
Except for Moxy. I'm okay with making her upset. But
very easily.
It's very easy to make her upset.
No, never mind. You get it.
But what I'm saying is, if you want to do something, or if you want something out of whatever the communication is, just tell me what you want. Tell me how to do it. and let's get to that point, as opposed to saying you don't really want that or you don't care if it doesn't happen, then getting mad afterwards because it didn't happen.
Well, it's hard though, because sometimes we don't know what we want until the opposite happens. I mean, that's very true. Like, you go into a situation thinking, okay, this is fine, you don't have to do this, and then it actually happens and you're like, you know what? No, I actually wanted this. It's like when you're trying to choose between two things and you have someone else choose for you. Like, if we were at Taco Bell, you know what? If we were at Del Taco, because Brad likes that more, and I said, do I want a taco or a burrito? I can't decide. Choose for me. And
Hamburger.
Brad said a burrito. If Brad said a burrito and I immediately felt regret that I didn't choose a taco, I would go with that option, because that's how you decide what you actually want. Sometimes in those scenarios, you don't know what you actually want. And so the communication then can't be about in advance. It has to be afterwards, which is another part of really good communication.
Listen, if you're going to Del Taco and you're not ordering a hamburger, you're doing it wrong.
Or fries.
Their fries are bomb.
Oh my gosh, their fries are so good.
We went to In-N-Out last week. And
Without me?
You were there.
Oh yeah, I was there.
And I had somebody get me Del Taco fries.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they were delicious. And then somebody else ate them.
Who ate them?
Freaking Sabrina.
No, so that's another aspect of good communication, though. Sometimes you can't resolve all of the issues as you go into it. There are a lot of things, and we're going to go over some more things in this list in a minute. But I do want to point out, you can't always have perfect communication, even if you go into it remembering all these things, planning perfectly, knowing what you're going to say, having the intention, having everything there, all your listening skills and everything. You can't always have perfect communication, and you're not going to. So the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be effective. And if efficacy means that you approach the topic after the conversation and resolve it then and have good communication in follow-up after the conflict, that's also good. That doesn't mean you failed at communication. It just means that you're figuring out how to communicate better after. We can continue on with these points. I just wanted to point that out.
Well, here's an interesting one. Here's another one that I need to work on, which is using appropriate emotion and tones. Now, I've always been told I should be a voice actor because apparently I have a good voice. The problem is I don't know how to control my tones, because, you know, there's certain times where you're supposed to sound like you're asking a question, and there's certain times where you're supposed to act like surprised and be like, you know, you're supposed to put emotion into it. I'm just very loud all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm learning, particularly in my relationship, that my tone doesn't always match the message that I'm sending.
That's very true. Yeah.
Because I might be attempting to console you or to make you feel better. Well, I'm like, everything's gonna be okay. Like, we're gonna be fine. Everything's cool. What does that tone really put off? Like, what does that tone really give you?
I'm not really sure.
It tends to just not be whatever the other person's looking for.
Kind of jarring.
Well, I mean, you do sound pretty abrasive.
You are.
And I don't know what that means, but...
Do you know what abrasion is?
No.
Okay, so when you exfoliate your skin and in your face wash, there are those little beads that
What's
like...
exfoliating your skin?
Wash. Scrub.
Why do you wash your skin?
You wash your skin.
Do you throw it in the washing machine?
Your face. You wash your face.
Twice a month.
When you wash your face, you know when your exfoliator has like those little beads in it and it scrubs at your skin and it gets rid of the dead skin cells.
It does?
That's abrasion. That's what you do to people.
I wash people's faces?
No!
This does not seem... I have never once in my life... Jesus said to wash their feet, not wash their face.
Are you doing either?
I'm washing my feet and my face.
That's good. And hopefully some other parts too.
Yeah, there's head to toe cleansing going on here, all right? Front and back. Well, kind of back, but mostly back.
Let's move on from this.
So I think it's a difficult thing for me to manage, is managing my tone and managing the emotion that I'm attempting to portray, because I don't know how to portray that. I don't know how to portray concern. I I know how to portray excitement because I'm always excited, especially for tacos.
That was good. That was very good.
Tacos.
Are you confused?
Taco. I don't know what's going on here anymore.
My mom, when we were kids, my sister had that issue, and I know we all have that issue, but like my sister especially. And when we were kids, my mom came up with this thing called Tony and Tootie. Whenever we were talking about it, she would say, "Okay, what you're telling me is good, but you have to watch your Tony and your Tootie. And your Tony is your tone, and your Tootie is your attitude." So that's another thing I would point out is not only do you have to watch your tone, if you're upset about something, you have to control how you're conveying your attitude about the situation. If you're going into a difficult conversation with a bad attitude, you're already in a bad place to start.
Can I just say one thing that if we ever do a children's version of this podcast, can we call it the Tony and Tootie's show? I just feel like that's an amazing brand name. Right
Isn't
there.
that great?
We should totally do like a whole children's cartoon about Tony and Tootie.
I would love that. Can either of us draw?
Well, we're screwed.
Got to sell it to HBO.
Well, that project's dead on arrival.
Oh,
Is there anything
man.
on here, anything else on here that you want to address?
You know, we covered a lot of it. And let me just go down this list because we've talked about a lot of things. You know, number 1 is know your message. Number 2 is make sure that you're understood. Number 3 is deliver your message in the proper context. That's a big one. That's the one that I struggle with. I tend to convey really difficult things at like 2 a.m. because that's my time when I process things well. And this is something that I'm learning, especially in marriage, is the proper time to give someone like gut-wrenching pieces of information is not at 2 a.m. when you're going to bed. That's just not the right context for this message. And that's not the right time to go about it. And I'm learning this, and I'm learning so much in marriage is that I have really awful timing when it comes to having these difficult conversations. So that's a really important one. And that's one that's going to affect things like using the appropriate emotions and tones and being receptive and having helpful feedback and being a good nonverbal communicator. That's on here too, is being able to show someone without talking, without actually saying things. You know, your words are half of the battle. The other half is going to be your body language and the way you're listening, like actively listening. People can tell that. People can understand the way you're feeling about something just from the way you're reacting physically. These things are all important, and they won't be there, or they're less likely to be there if you're not delivering delivering your message in the proper context. Another thing that's on this list is to provide helpful feedback. And this is something that I love about my husband is he, like, going back to what I was saying earlier, is sometimes I go into something not knowing whether I need to just talk or, you know, be heard, just vent, or if I need a solution. And sometimes helpful feedback is just being with someone in the moment, sitting with them, being like Job's friends at the beginning of that book of the Bible, just sitting with them and crying. Sometimes that's what someone needs, and that's all they need. Job's friends screwed it up by offering their opinions, and you need to establish in that moment of communication whether that's something your friend needs or if they actually want advice. And if they actually want advice, you can go from there. If this is actually a place for you to insert your opinion, they'll tell you. They can actually, like, you can actually ask them and say, do you, like, this is something that Brad does all the time. He'll say, do you want me to just listen, or do you want me to help solve this? And most of the time, I just want him to listen. But that's something really important for communication. You want to hit number 9 and 10?
I'm going to make up my own here.
Oh, crap. He's going off book.
I'm going off book because this is actually really important to me. And this is, you know, when I'm communicating something to somebody, if it's something that's important, by that, I mean, it's like, you know, it's not just oh, by the way, I'm feeling kind of upset about this. It's like, here's the next 6-month plan. Here's, you know, kind of, we're talking about the future. We're talking about budgets or something big, or, you know, there's not a specific instance. But if you're on your phone, well, somebody else, it's part of the nonverbal communication thing.
I knew you were going to say that.
If you're on your phone while I'm communicating with you, it is the biggest F you that you can possibly give somebody. Now, again, there are certain times where it's okay to be on your phone. Like if we're just at lunch and we're just shooting the breeze and it's whatever, fine, cool, whatever, be on your phone. But if it's like, and you're actually really good about when things are serious, completely shutting down whatever else you got going on and being really in the moment. But if you're on your phone while somebody's giving you some heart-to-heart conversation, you're kind of a D-bag.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't. And then you get upset when somebody else is kind of like not paying as close attention to you because you turn them off. I'm pretty good at making sure my phone's face down whenever I'm having like dinner with somebody, just in general. But if it's a serious conversation, like I make sure my phone's on silent and put away. And the only time I'll answer my phone in the middle of a serious conversation, if it's like my dad or one of my nieces and nephews calling or something, because those can be an emergency situation. But if you're having a conversation with somebody that's important and it just stay off your phone.
Yeah.
Stay off your phone.
Yeah, seriously.
Listen, make eye contact, provide feedback if needed, but stay off your damn phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to end this on a high note, ironically, because number 10 on informant.com in 10 keys to being a good communicator is to be positive. That's a really big one for communication, especially between two people when you're working on something really difficult. Being positive and staying positive in a situation of conflict is really important to ensuring that both people are going to try their best to work through it, no matter how difficult it is. And some situations truly suck. Like some things are really just awful. But the key to it is not letting that swallow you up and not just sitting in. Like you can sit in it for a while, but if you're never going to get out of it and try to be positive, and if you're having that conversation cohesively, then you're probably trying actively to get yourself out of that situation. You got to be positive with that other person and give them that reassurance that it's going to be okay, that you're going to approach this in a positive way. And not only will that be good for your soul, it's going to be good for theirs too. It's going to help them to be more positive and uplifted in that situation and, give them a hand to hold on to in that time.
Well, if you just hold on to what we got, it won't make a difference if we make it or not.
I'm breaking up with you.
We have each other.
Nope. No, we don't.
And that's a lot.
No.
For love.
Why are you looking at Brad?
We should give it a shot. We're about halfway there.
About? Whoa, we're about halfway there.
Well, we're done.
Whoa, maybe living on a prayer.
Might be living on a prayer.
Oh,
Take
wow.
my hand.
We're gonna get sued.
Make it, I swear. Whoa. Might be living on a prayer. Might be living on a prayer.
Oh, man.
Well, with that being said, we're going to end this on a positive note. We just got sued by B. Jovi. What was it?
Bon Jovi.
JB Jovi.
John Bon Jovi.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to quote Andy.
Okay.
I think he said JB Jovi or something.
JB Jovi. Oh.
I don't know.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of You're My Best Friend. We had a great time. We hope you did too. If you like this week's episode, make sure that you let us know somehow. There are multiple ways. It's not hard. I mean, it's kind of hard, but not really.
Not really. I mean, if you have our Instagram, you can just DM us.
Yeah, you could do that. You could follow us on Facebook and leave a comment on one of our most recent posts. We post every day.
What?
Yeah, because Ruben makes me. And
it's part of her job.
Yeah.
Why I sign her checks.
You could send us a DM on Facebook or Instagram. You could also join our Facebook group. It's Life Friendship Tacos on Facebook.
Facebook.com/group/Life Friendship Tacos.
Just search for Life Friendship Tacos. You can also find it
Facebook.com/groups/Life Friendship Tacos/Creed Thoughts.
What were we saying about not just waiting for the other person to finish talking so we could
/Creed Thoughts.
Don't go to /Creed Thoughts.
I don't know what that would.
Oh,
we should totally get /creedthoughts.com.
We should. Also, you could leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, you can.
That is one of the best ways to support this podcast because it helps other people see that we don't suck.
Even
It
if we
is-
do suck.
It is false advertising, but
Yeah. Just tell people that we don't suck so that way we can make more money off of them. One other thing
that's
too.
really healthy.
One other thing is make sure you stick around. We are going to record an overtime segment. Who knows what we're going to talk about in overtime, but make sure to follow us over at dollarinthejar.com. $6.99 and up will get you a thank you note in the mail. Also access to our ad-free shows as well as the overtime segment. So make sure to stick around for that if you are one of the people who help us by subscribing.
And if you're having issues finding dollarinthejar.com, just go to our website. It's going to be halfway out. It's going to be about halfway down the homepage. And I know because I designed it myself.
And by design, she means designed.
Boom, roasted.
Boom, toasted.
Boom, posted.
Boom, hosted the podcast this week. Checking that off the to-do list.
Here we go.
All right. Well, that being said, my name is Ruben Jay.
And I'm Moxy Ann.
And we
Are out of podcasts.
are out of time. Also, if you go to our website, you can buy our merchandise.
You can. You should do that. That's also on the homepage.
There's not a lot of stuff for sale right now.
Along
but-
with pictures of us wearing our merch. It's pretty cool.
And me doing this.
You won't understand that unless you follow us on YouTube.
Our merchandise link goes nowhere.
What? No, it works.
Oh,
I tested it.
wow, we're selling leggings?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was an accident, remember?
I didn't remember this. I haven't been on this website in a while. We should probably figure out if we made any money.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys in overtime.
There we go. I don't know.
Here we
See you there.